employment and staffing reporter, Mr. Marc Z, better known as Marc Zwetschgenbaum. How are you?
Thanks, Greg. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. And this evening you are going to be talking about a hot topic that appears to be currently in debate in Congress, both with the Republicans and the Democrats at odds.
Correct. We're going to talk about the Working Families Flexibility Act of 2013, and it's a debate on a bill sponsored by Republicans to help businesses and to help working families. And what's interesting is this has come under a lot of back and forth debate because of what's the traditional Democratic response, which is you're taking away overtime. This is a right, and this is what President Obama has discussed, that this is a right that came from the Fair Labor Standards Act in 1938. So after 40 hours, an hourly employee is entitled to time and a half. And the states and the federal government have tweaked it over the years that what's professional employment, where it's salaried, versus entitling somebody to overtime. But that's a significant part of a average employee working overtime.
So let me ask you this. As you know, I do a lot of reading, and certainly not on employment law per se, but on stuff having to do with the economy. I know that as of a couple of days ago, receipts are up with the cities and towns because the economy has recovered. Sales tax revenue is in the process of recovering. Real estate tax revenue is in the process of recovering. How much of this is a reaction to the fact that the states don't want to go back into hawk by having to pay overtime, as much as this is just big picture issues that they just don't want to pay, period?
Well, first of all, it's not a state situation. Ironically, it's funny you should talk about state and federal government. The federal government has comp time for the federal workers, and they've done that in their furlough program, and they've done it in regular employment jobs relating to public employees. So that's already there in the public sector.
At the federal level.
At the federal,
right.
State, and city level, at the public employment. It's not in the private employment, so the Republicans are saying, let's bring in a private industry where it could help employers and employees, because obviously employers can create jobs, and by being able to create jobs and having that income. So for example, employers would be able to really forecast what their needs are for a year if it's level. We're paying John or Sarah $800 a week
in a private company.
Right.